Count it all joy, my brothers, when you meet trials of various kinds, for you know that the testing of your faith produces steadfastness. And let steadfastness have its full effect, that you may be perfect and complete, lacking in nothing. Hey, Awaken Church. This is another Sermon Spark Notes series, and we're just updating and reviewing what we covered in the sermon, and also trying to give you a few practical things to apply this week. So we just launched a series on James. We're going to be teaching, again, chapter by chapter through the book of James, and the series is titled Act in Faith, and we're so excited about this series. But let's turn right away to James 1, and we'll just read a few verses. Count it all joy, my brothers, when you meet trials of various kinds, for you know that the testing of your faith produces steadfastness. And let steadfastness have its full effect, that you may be perfect and complete, lacking in nothing. And James here, when he's trying to talk about steadfastness, what he doesn't want to see is this idea of swerving, is that we're going to have trials in our lives. We're going to have things that disrupt our faith, things that hurt us, things that wound us, things that make us say, where is God? And we're not alone. In fact, this was going on in the first century in Jerusalem. This church was seeing trials. They were seeing famines and persecutions and death. And James was trying to tell them, don't swerve away from your faith. And right now, maybe there's something that's gone on in your life in the last year and a half. Maybe it's just even this whole situation that we're still in with this virus. Maybe it's finances, maybe it's relationships, maybe it's marriage, maybe it's with a kid, and you just feel like swerving. Or maybe you already have a little bit. Maybe you've already swerved a little bit from God and His Word. And James is saying, hey, don't do that. Come and be steadfast. And then he goes right away into, well, how do you be steadfast? You pray. You ask God for help. You ask Him for wisdom. And I think that's really important. And I think I want to challenge you guys to maybe review your life. Ask how you can be more steadfast in something. Maybe it's reading Scripture. Maybe it's worshiping and rejoicing God. Maybe it's giving. How can you be more steadfast that you don't swerve away from Him or His purposes? And here's why James is saying this. Because he wants to make sure of one thing. That the people who've been given the benefits of the gospel, the people who have the good news, the people who have Jesus Christ, that they don't walk away from the commitments of the gospel as well. He doesn't want for people to have benefits and comfort of the gospel and then not have to do anything. This for him would be a great deception, a grand deception in the life of believers, for people to believe in Jesus, have a relationship with Jesus, have their sins washed away, but then not be committed to the gospel. And so how can we be, as a people of God, committed to the gospel of God, committed to being steadfast? And again, my two pieces of practical counsel for you this week would be, will you pray to be more steadfast in an area that God reveals to you, that God illuminates to your heart? Will you pray to be more steadfast? And then two, will you ask God for wisdom? Thank you guys. Hope you all have a great week. We'll see you later.